What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here from No Shelf Space, and today we're looking at a trio of games all in the same universe, the Kinfire Delve series. I have 3 different boxes here, and we're going to show you at least one of them. Now, these 2 on the bottom here are still sealed. I haven't opened them or played them yet, but that's what they look like side by side. Really cool color in the green, the blue, and the pink/purple. I really enjoy it. Interesting game, lots of cool stuff. But the reason why I'm showing off these games is because of how relatively cheap they are, but how fantastic the production quality is, and I think it needs to be highlighted. In Canada, I believe you can get Kinfire Delve for about $18.95, $19 on 401 Games Board Game Bliss, which I think is an incredible value for a really great, and I say great because I think it's great, a really great 2-player game. Let's open up the box and we'll talk about it right now. Okay, so right away, actually, I'm going to put this back on because I'm going to show you. There's one thing that's going to drive people insane, but let's first talk about the cover here. You got the really nice gold foiling letter right here, but not only here on the title and the designer, but also down here on the art, and as well as the Incredible Dream logo. Yes, this box was sent over to me by Incredible Dream, so thank you so much. Right here, 1 to 2 players, 14 plus 60 minutes. The thing that's going to drive people insane, we also got the foiling here on the sides, on this side, on the top. Lots of that nice little gold foiling, which I actually really like. Makes it feel very premium. Now, I'll pull these ones back into view just so you can see them. Can I stand them up? Can you see them if I stand them up? There we go. The downside here that's going to drive a couple people insane is if you look at this box here, you can see the box lift right there. So you see that box lift, and people might say, oh, it's because there's punch board in there or something else that's lifting the lid. Well, it's not actually the case. So this is a game all put away, and there is going to be box lift. And there's nothing actually, and I don't even think it's box lift because I think it's a design choice. Because if I open this up and show you, the reason why this happens is there's nothing here, by the way, pushing the box up. This is all pretty, I mean, this came out, but this is all pretty flat in the box, as you can see here when I put these cards back in finally. So this is all pretty flat in the box. This is definitely below that, but if you can see here, this is the same height. And because that's the same height, of course, when that sits in here, inside the lid, by the way, check out that art. How cool is that? I love that. When this sits on top, of course, it creates a little bit of lift, and there's nothing you can do about that. So that's going to drive some people insane, but that's neither here nor there. All right. You get a little rules reference, and this is a game that's pretty easy. It seems really confusing when you first start going through it, but in practice, it's a pretty straightforward game. And I've played just this one a couple times with the 3 different included monsters that you can fight at the bottom of the well, which is really cool. The concept here is that each player has their own hand of cards, and you can play them on your turn. You can play 1 card on your turn, and then the other player can boost the card. But essentially, you've got this here in the center of the table, and this is a monster in the middle, but that's the bottom of the well. And you can't get to the bottom of the well until you get through the well deck. Now, certain cards, once you defeat them, they'll let you like take cards off the well deck and put them into the well discard pile. That helps you get further down into the deck, but lots of cool concepts here. When you have to redraw your hand, you have to draw an exhaustion card, and they're definitely not good. Lots of really cool stuff. Lots of really cool stuff in this game. You can see there's different kinds of cards. There's puzzle cards, item cards, trap cards, challenge cards, combat cards. And then you have your own personal skill cards. But it all comes together pretty nicely. I don't love the little seemingly ad kind of thing in the middle of the book, but it doesn't really matter. But there you go. It's just a tiny little rule book, 20 pages in total, but again, tiny. The game comes with cardboard chits. Now, I would have thought these would be a lot worse. So when I saw that there was going to be cardboard, and if you look at the back of the box, it shows it, right? You can see the little cardboard pieces right there. I was worried these were going to be like Lorcana Pokemon counters. Thin pieces of card. Hashtag, that's not it. Side, maybe it's a piece of cardstock. But look at these. Like, nice, thick. Like, I love that. That's production right there. And yeah, we see this in board games, but we don't often see this in card games. So I was really impressed with that. This is just a standard 10-sided black die. This is just for tracking your health. These are the unique dice that you will be rolling. These are not etched. They are printed. So I'm worried about like playing for a long time, what this might do to the faces of these dice and whether they're going to start to scrape. And I mean, right here, you can already see, let's see if you can tell. Right above my thumb there, you can see that little white mark. Like that's already a little chip or a little scratch in the die. So I think they'll last for quite a long time, but I think over time you're going to see this start to wear a little bit. We got more of these little game pieces here, and then we got cards. So this here is the well deck. So this is the deck you will be working through to get to the bottom of your well, and there'll be 4 cards out on the table. So like I said before, you're going to have combat cards, event cards, of course, puzzle cards, combat, obstacles. What else is in here? It's another event, obstacle, combat. Maybe that's it. Maybe obstacle, combat, and puzzles. Anyway, card quality. Very impressed with the card quality. It's not the best cards in the world, but it's better than average. I will say that. I would argue that you probably don't need to sleeve these. You could, but you probably don't need to. But the card quality is fantastic. And then we got these cards, and there's some impressive cards in here, so just get ready for that. These are the exhaustion cards, and they all do bad things. So when you have to redraw your hand, you have to draw an exhaustion card. Usually if you get 3 specific exhaustion cards, at least in this box, you lose the game. We have these gauntlet cards. These are what have to be finished off and defeated prior to fighting the boss. And I think you can see it on this card, these cards a little bit. You can see there is some little holographic foiling on there as well. So when I spin them, you can see them catch the light. And I think they're all like that in some way. Yeah, they have like in fact, it's like there's like a little bump there as well. Very cool cards. Like that's a really cool card right there. I love that. But it gets better, folks. It gets better. These are your 3 boss cards. Again, with that really cool little foiling effect on there. But this is where the creme de la creme. Look at these player cards. And this is what we call production value. Look at that. Really nice cards again. Really nice cards. I love the little foiling behind the character there. And then on the front as well, just easy to read, but like nice little bits of art on there. I just love how it's all different poses of my character, which I think is really cool. And then there's your character card with an ability, and then your lantern. And then that's him. And then, of course, we've got the other one here as well, lantern card. There's the back of the player card, or the character card, and then the back of the player cards. Like, just very cool, very high quality in my opinion. This is just a fantastic production. Like, for what you pay, I think the value is so good here. The game is so much fun for 2 players. Plays in about an hour. Like, that's realistic. Learning and playing, we did it in about an hour. And it's the kind of cooperative game that's not necessarily easy, but not overly hard. I mean, it's difficult. We've lost, so I guess it is hard. We've lost multiple times, but it's not so easy that you go, well, that was too easy. I think the difficulty scale of this is really good. So this is kind of turned into a bit of a review, and my review is that it's great. Even if you just buy one, like $20 for you and a friend to play a couple times. So there's at least 3 games in here for you. And of course, like any board game, you're going to play it more than 3 times. But there's at least 3 unique games where you're going to fight different bosses at the end, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. Great production, fun game. I can't recommend this enough. Go check it out. Kinfire Delve.